Yo, I'll be honest with you, this video is for the boys. So if you're a girl watching this, maybe you could learn a thing or two from this. But since I'm a boy who grew up in a household with 3 older brothers, I'm the youngest, fun fact, I'm much more equipped and qualified to talk about what you should and shouldn't experience if you're a guy. So if you're a girl watching this, then who knows? Stick around if you want. Everything is in my opinion, and I'll explain why. So if you're born between the years 2005 to 2014, then this is for you. But everybody can learn something from this. In my opinion, I believe you become an official adult at the age of 20. Because when I was 18 years old, I was still a child. But when you turn 20, there's a few things that you need to experience that, in my opinion, will set you up for the rest of your adulthood. Without experiencing these things that I'm about to mention, then you are just a man-child. And there is nothing more embarrassing and revolting than being a man-child. So I will prevent that to the best of my ability. Starting off with the controversial one, but you need to get your heart broken. And I mean destroyed. Obviously, no shit, don't go chasing a heartbreak. Like, don't go chasing and falling in love with a girl who is obviously bad news. That's not what I'm saying. There is nothing that will give you more energy and fuel than getting rejected / getting hurt. It does something to your brain when there is nothing you could do about it. Because it forces you to grow and it teaches you how to cope and handle pain. And the earlier you experience that, the better. Because when you're an adult, you're going to be faced with a lot of difficult things coming at you. But when you're younger and you learn how to deal with it, it's better for you. So, quick story time. I've partially already told this story before, but I'll explain details about it that I haven't touched on. I would say the first time that I quote-unquote experienced a heartbreak was when I was 13, 14 years old. Here's a picture of me when I was 13, 14 years old. And before I explain it, looking back, it 100% was my own fault for being oblivious to obvious signs, like turning my head away and ignoring such obvious red flags. But in my case, I'll give one of my situations. So when I was in grade 9, there was a girl that I liked. And long story short, we started dating. It didn't last very long. There was a lot of things throughout the relationship that I was so clearly obviously bothered by, but I ignored it. And that did something to my head, so it just caused problems. So during the relationship, I recall I had a group chat with 2 other people. So it was me, her best friend, and somebody else. Her and her best friend would basically text each other in this group chat without realizing that I'm in there, her boyfriend, and somebody else. So one day, I was out and about. I wasn't on my phone during the day, and my phone had like a bunch of notifications on it. So I was going through the messages, reading through whatever I missed out on, and she sent a picture of some dude who was in grade 12 while we were together, and her best friend were talking about him while I'm in the group chat. So I'm sitting there being like, this is a bit bizarre. You're in a relationship, but you're talking about another guy. I just chose to ignore it, when in reality, probably shouldn't have done that. I just chose to ignore it because I was a kid, I didn't like conflict, I thought creating conflict was an issue, big mistake. But eventually it came back up and I brought it up being like, what on the earth? What the hell was that? And she was like, oh, you have nothing to worry about. Oh, you have nothing to worry about. And we all know in those cases, whenever she tells you not to worry about a guy, you probably should worry about him. So anyways, fast forward, 2 months or something go by and I break up with her because I just was pretty fed up about how I was being treated. I got the advice from somebody. I think it was my brother now that I look back at it, being like, oh, what you tolerate is what you end up with. If you tolerate bullshit, you'll end up with bullshit. So I was like, wait, I'm tolerating bullshit. I ended up with bullshit. I don't want to deal with this anymore. Screw it. I've had enough. So I deleted it. And in less than a week later, she ends up dating the guy who she told me not to worry about. So what's the implication here? She was talking to him while we were in a relationship. So we're in grade 10 now. She's 14 and the guy is 18 years old. Pause. 18-year-old dude dating a 14-year-old. Somebody needs to investigate that guy. But the thing is, that guy was the biggest guy in the school. So in grade 12, he was able to bench press 2 plates. And me, this is how I looked in grade 9 or 10. I was like 107 pounds or something like that. She weighed more than me. So after we broke up, there was like a trend in my school where if you like this post, so they would post like an Instagram post. I don't know, I'll find the screenshot of one of the pictures, what it was. Then they'll be honest with you. So it'll be like, oh, to be honest, I see you in the halls, you're cool, blah, blah, blah. So there's the opposite of that called to be rude, so TBR, where if you like this post, they're gonna basically roast you. So I remember I liked the post because everyone was liking it and I got roasted. But the way how they roasted was like crazy. Something along the lines of them saying, oh, the guy who she ended up dating after I broke up with her had the biggest upgrade of the century. Because, you know, he was like a bodybuilder at the age of 18 years old, and I was looking like this at the age of 14 years old. So I remember it fueled me because one, it upset me, and two, I was like, I don't really want to be skinny. Or rather, I don't want to be weak. It forced me into the gym. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just doing bicep curls every single day in hopes that I would get bigger, but I wanted to be bigger and stronger. But more than that, it reinforced my standards. It taught me tolerance. It taught me how to acknowledge red flags. It forced me to grow. It put me in a painful situation that I was forced to get myself out of. I got myself into trouble and got myself out of trouble. But it mainly made me learn not to tolerate bullshit. Every single time you're tolerating something that you're uncomfortable being in, you're basically telling yourself and the people around you that you're okay with these circumstances. So let's draw this out and go to bullying. Let's say you're getting bullied. Let's say people are picking on you. And every single time that you get picked on, you laugh with them, you laugh in the group, and when in reality, they're all just laughing at you. But if you let yourself get picked on like that, and you don't say anything about it, and you don't stand up for yourself, you're telling everyone there that it's okay. Like, I'm not gonna do anything about it. But what happens when you don't tolerate that and you instantly stand up for yourself? Nobody's gonna wanna mess with you. You know why? Because everybody fears conflict. Nobody wants to be in uncomfortable situations. If you tolerate bullshit, you will end up with bullshit. That is the rule. This situation unintentionally forced me to develop higher standards and expectations. So every time I would get shown behaviorisms from other people that would remind me of situations that I didn't like, I would instantly just call it out. And there has not been a single circumstance in my life where I have ever done that where that didn't pay off for me. Because automatically you learn to dissociate yourself away from things that you don't like or that are against your standards and your expectations. It is not wrong to have standards and expectations. Someone with no standards is someone who leaves their boundaries unlocked, allowing and inviting anyone to walk through. Don't let that be you. That rhymed. Next, fail at something you are passionate about. In my case, it was YouTube, video editing, and soccer or football. When I first spawned on this planet in 2001, Call of Duty trickshotting was massive when I was still a kid. This is like around the time when FaZe first became a thing. So I would hit Call of Duty trick shots, I would record it on my brother's BlackBerry or my dad's iPad. I would post it to YouTube in hopes that I would get recruited to FaZe Clan or get 10 million views. Unfortunately, that never ended up happening. I would post it to YouTube and then the next day I would get like 1 view and it would be my dad. Shout out to my dad. But nowadays that happens sometimes where I'll post a video and then the next day it's at a couple million views. But back then, yeah, definitely not. But from getting no views, it reinforced me to try to keep going. It could have gone one or two directions. The first direction is to just stop uploading, being like, oh, this isn't working, it's not for me. And the second option is to try other outlooks. I really wanted to be big in the trickshotting scene, so I kept trying. And I failed. I kept trying and I failed for 4 more years. So after that chapter closed when trickshotting kind of fell off, there's a football/soccer YouTube channel called Free Kickers with the Z. And what they would do is they would have their audience send in free kicks for them to put into a compilation. And they would basically give whoever gets the best free kick a shout out. So I was like, oh my God, I want to be featured on this channel. That's going to be so cool. So I would go out day after day after day, trying to hit free kicks so I can get featured on this YouTube channel. And I would record it and I would post it to YouTube. And I think I got close, I'll be honest. I even learned how to knuckleball really well. Like, take a look at this clip that I hit when I was 13 years old. But I kept trying and I failed so badly. Holy. I remember when I first started high school, I was still making videos in the first semester of grade 9. And I just remember how the school was absolutely flaming me. Like, I remember the videos had like 18 dislikes and like 22 likes. Like, to me, that was so crazy. I'm just a kid, bro. Like, I'm just trying to play soccer and make videos about it. The fuck? What in the world, bro? But what was the lesson out of me trying and failing? The lesson was that progress requires risk. You cannot succeed without being willing to take the risk. Getting comfortable taking risks strengthens you. So even though I was this skinny little kid weighing less than 100 pounds just playing soccer in my backyard, I was still getting stronger by having the balls to attempt something that others didn't have the balls or guts to do. Don't be scared to fail about something that you are passionate about. Failure is good. Also, if you're doing something that you're passionate about and people in your school are making fun of you because you're not succeeding yet, ignore them. They don't have the guts to do what you want to do, and them making fun of you is making them feel better about themselves. Ignore them. Take pride in your actions. You have guts that they don't have. And eventually, if you stay consistent and focused, it could pay off. And even if it doesn't pay off, you're still learning things that are going to be very valuable for your future. Number 3, get into physical activity as early as possible. Oh my God, you guys have no idea how important this is. There is nothing that will do yourself more justice in the future than getting into physical activity at an early age. Strengthening yourself early on. That is something that I did that 2 of my older brothers didn't. And the second youngest brother, so the one that's 3 years older than me, he is out of shape and he is 27 years old because he didn't get into physical activity early on. If he started working out in high school like how I did, then maybe he wouldn't be as out of shape that he is right now. Working out early and strengthening your body armor will drastically change how you see yourself. You will feel better about yourself. It'll give you more confidence. It'll make you healthier. It'll make you live longer. And it's a form of self-love, you know? Looking out for the future version of yourself. Like, damn, I look back at my younger self and I'm like, bro, shout out to this version of me for, you know, working out as early as I did. Like, I'm not like jacked right now, but I'm not out of shape either. And that's because of my younger self. The sacrifices that my younger self was willing to make for my future self. Get into working out early on. You will never regret it. Number 4, kind of ties into number 3, but sign up to a boxing gym. There is an innate desire as guys to want to feel powerful. One of the easiest ways to do that is to sign up for a boxing gym and learn how to fight. There is nothing that will humble you more than learning how to fight. Everybody thinks they know how to fight until they do, and they realize how unbelievably helpless they are to someone who actually knows how to fight. You will be humbled very quickly, and it will destroy your ego. I signed up to a fighting gym earlier this year, and I committed to it for 5 months straight up until I dislocated my shoulder, which nowadays I'm kind of slightly back, so I might go back to it, but we'll see. And I'm not kidding when I say this. I learned more about myself within the 5 months that I was training 4 to 5 times a week for than maybe the last 5 years. And over the last 5 years, I learned a lot about myself. But these last 5 months, I feel like I've, grown up a lot. It taught me a lot about, my flaws, what I'm capable of, what I'm incapable of, my muscle memory, my way of fighting, my personality. Like, it basically amplified the traits about myself. And I believe fighting does that to you. Now, I'm not telling you to go get your ass beat. That's definitely not what I'm trying to say here. It's just learning how to fight. It is necessary for you to know how to protect yourself in the future. Also, getting punched in the face, during my time at least, I eliminated a lot of big fears that I had inside my brain. Like getting punched 100 to 200 times in the face made me get rid of the fear of confrontation or physical altercations. Ideally, I would like to avoid any physical altercations at all costs, but knowing how to handle it and knowing how to be composed in the realm of that, in the face of discomfort, gives you a new sense and newfound freedom when navigating the world. It makes you feel more comfortable being in your own shoes. Learning how to fight early on is just as important, if not more important, than weightlifting. If you're thinking about it, I personally recommend Muay Thai or kickboxing over boxing, but anything is good. As long as it's not karate or taekwondo, anything is good. Number 5, leave your hometown for a bit. Bro, I think around like 20% of people have never flown a plane in their lives. Like they've never left the country that they're currently residing in. That's crazy to me. That is absolutely insane to me. I'm lucky enough that I got to visit a lot of countries before I turned 18 years old. Like I lived in 3 different countries before I turned 8. I was born in New York. I lived there for 5 years. I moved to Switzerland, lived there for 3 years, and then I've been living in Canada ever since. And during those years, I traveled a lot with my family. But what did that do for me exactly? It broadened my mental horizons. It removed the limitations that I had on my ability to think about the world. I think if I didn't travel in my life, I would definitely not be a YouTuber, 100%. I have no limitations on how far I could take this journey as a result of just broadening my horizons, my ability to think, from just leaving my hometown and seeing the world. Once you see how unfathomably large the world is, it's not going to be very much that will hold you back in life. Number 6. This is the big one. Learn to be comfortable being by yourself. You need to be your own best friend. There is no human being alive who will look out for you the way how you need to look out for you. Everybody is preoccupied with their own lives. Everybody has shit on their plate. Everyone has stuff they need to worry about. Everyone has responsibilities. Everyone has duties. Don't expect other people to take care of you all the time. Rely on yourself and learn to trust yourself. You'll be able to make decisions easier. You'll be able to take risks easier. You'll be able to socialize better. You'll be more comfortable in your own shoes. But how do you learn to be comfortable being by yourself? And the answer is pretty simple. Just be by yourself whenever the opportunity comes. So back in grade 12, around October 2018, I remember a situation happened where there was a secret that I kept and I didn't tell my main group about that secret, and then the secret came out. It was my own business first and foremost. I don't know why the fuck I had to tell anybody, but basically, long story short, the people in the group cut me off, kind of. Like, they kind of just like distanced themselves from me, and I was like, I'm not about to try and hold on to anybody's ankles. I'm just gonna be by myself. So I'm not kidding. From October 2018 all the way till February 2019, I would sit in the library by myself, reading Harry Potter, listening to music. During those few months, I remember there was a few people who would just come to the library and sit with me and read with me. And all these years later, even though I don't talk to any of them, I still have a lot of appreciation for that because it was very fun. Like, literally, the bell would ring, I would go to the library, I would read, and then people would just spawn. Be like, okay, this is nice. But even when they wouldn't be there, what I learned was, if they're there, nice. If they're not there, also nice. At first it sucked, like, you know, being by myself in the library just reading. I think I have a few videos I could show you. I'll put it on screen.
Your haircut. Why are you so depressed? There you go.
Shout out to Snapchat. And speaking of Snapchat, go add me. I have to start posting stories, so Snapchat lets me keep the verification mark, so yeah, go add me. Anyways, it sucked at first. I remember I blamed myself for everything, as I should, but it was uncomfortable. Felt like people hated me. I felt used. I felt underappreciated. But as time went by and as I was by myself throughout this time, it turned into self-appreciation. I wanted what was best for myself. I was willing to take risks for myself, and I felt good about being the type of person that I was. And I just remember acknowledging traits about myself that no one was acknowledging about myself. Like, for example, my birthday passed by during the time that I was MIA from everybody, like when I disappeared for those months. And when my birthday passed by, there was like a handful of people who said happy birthday to me that year. And it just reinforced in my brain that even though I said happy birthday to everybody, like, I'm not kidding, even people who I wasn't friends with, I just would remember their birthday. So I would say happy birthday to everybody. But none of those people said happy birthday to me, even though my birthday is after theirs at the end of the year. I remember at first I was bitter about it. I was like, bro, fuck all these people. But then at the same time, I was like, wait, I'm a good person for that. I feel good about doing good for others and expecting absolutely nothing in return. And from me acknowledging and appreciating myself more, I got more comfortable being by myself. And from being by myself, I learned to be more comfortable just existing without anybody around. How others see you is how you see yourself. But more than that, how you see yourself is how others see you. Oh, that was fire. Where did that come from? But it's true. If you see yourself as shit, others are gonna also see you as shit. So the better that I began to, acknowledge these good things about myself, it just, made me feel more comfortable. But that wouldn't have happened if I wasn't comfortable being alone. Don't look at being alone as a bad thing, because it really isn't. Yo, I'm letting you all know now, after school's done and after you graduate, life becomes pretty unsociable. So the earlier you get used to, being alone and being by yourself, being comfortable in your own shoes, the easier it'll be for you as you become an adult. Because there might be a few years where you talk to absolutely nobody. Like, bro, from 0 subscribers to like 2.8 million, I talk to nobody. Now I'm talking to people again, kind of like once a month or something like that. But if I wasn't comfortable being by myself, I would not have gotten to this position. So anyways, next, number 7. Don't try to grow up too fast. Don't worry about being an adult. Seriously. You don't need to try to become an adult as you're a kid and do adult things so the adults accept you. It's kind of worthless, and I'll explain why. Let's mathematically break it down. Before the age of 13, you're a child. You're a kid. But from the ages of 13 to 19, you're a teenager. Assuming you live to 100 years old, that means that you have, from the ages 20 years old all the way until you die, to be an adult. So don't worry about being an adult. Like doing adult things, like trying to make a bunch of money or becoming a millionaire in your teens. Be a kid. Enjoy being a kid. You're literally only a kid once. When I was a kid, people would say this shit to me all the time, and I didn't understand until I hit my 20s. And I was like, oh shit, This is where life becomes real. Enjoy your youth. Enjoy life. And then lastly, it's gonna sound sarcastic, but I swear to God, I'm not even kidding. Watch One Piece. If it wasn't for One Piece, I wouldn't have learned a lot of the things that I teach you guys every day. I hope you're able to learn a thing or two from this that sticks around as you navigate life. Part 2 of the Minecraft series comes out tomorrow. Watch my other videos. I'll see you later.